Hey, everybody, welcome to the pre-show.
Welcome to the pre-show.
Brought
Yeah.
you
You need to nip that in the bud, David. It's already gotten really old.
brought to you by SpinWizComics.com, also on iOS and Android. It's literally free comics, 400 different indie comics, 86 different indie creators, all kinds of cool publishers, SourcePoint Press, Tidal Wave, Marcosia, Way Blue World, and more. And just about all of it is free. SpinWizComics.com, also on iOS and Android. Check it out. This is the part of the show where we talk about what we're going to do on the show. What are we going to do on the show?
There's a couple of news items, I guess.
A couple.
From this last week.
Just a few, not many.
Oh,
Not many.
I think we could breeze past it really quick.
Yeah.
I am so excited.
I mean, all that stuff about like every single man, woman, and child in the world being in Spider-Man 3, that was this week. And that seems like that was forever ago.
Right? Well, I'm in Spider-Man 3. I don't know if you guys have heard.
Everyone is.
I don't
Yeah.
doubt
Yes.
it. I mean, I'll see you at the rap party.
Even
We're all
Stan
part of
Lee
Spider-Man 3.
Spider-Man 3, you know?
Don't do it, Dave. Don't say it. They're not doing it. Anyway, we're gonna have a segment 1 where we're gonna talk about what we're doing, in life and in general. So have something for that, kids.
Oh, no.
I got some good news, man. Have you guys heard about this surprise Kirkman comic?
That one, that announcement, that, Corpse 11 or something?
No, it's called Solid Blood. I'll talk about it. And then I think it's just going to be Marvel and Star Wars. I'm excited about Rescue Rangers.
Oh, I am too. I love me some Rescue Rangers.
After that,
Andy Samberg,
we do
Johnny
in
Lang.
fact have a moment of destruction, but oh my gosh, you are not going to like it.
Oh, man, it is long and expensive.
What a wasted opportunity. And then top 3, which is a very mediocre week for comics this week. There was at least 1 or 2 gems. But yeah, not much in comics. So this is also part of the show where we talk about what we're going to do on other parts of the show. The Comic Book Bullies hung out for top 5 graphic novels and trade paperbacks. It was a wild success, despite the fact that my list was terrible.
Well, no one was expecting it to be good. So
that's true. So that does let me off the hook a little bit there. But the question remains, what are we going to do for the next top 5? Next month, in January.
When we mentioned during the last top 5 there, maybe do best runs ever.
Dude, my list for runs is going to be a lot better.
It's a lot easier to do runs.
It's a lot easier to do runs.
Yeah, because you're not confined to one trade, one.
I'm not sure if we're a bit too specific
arc
with these. Maybe we're a bit too general with these, and we should be more specific. Because I could think of my top 5 X-Men runs, my top 5 Avengers runs, top 5 Batman runs.
I mean, you don't have to necessarily close those doors if we just do a more generic one, though. You can go back and do
my only concern with doing something like that is everybody's going to have the same, pretty much.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
You guys can probably guess what at least 2 of mine are going to be already, but
runs.
Yeah.
Man, I'm not sure. Oh well, I would say Hickman FF and Hickman Avengers. Is
I'm
that
also going to count that as
5
one.
I would say Jason Aaron
that's
for
an
Taylor.
asterisk because I'm convinced that Hickman is just writing the same damn series. Even now, even into X-Men, it's the same story he was going to write after Secret War.
I'm curious for when the Beyonders show up here in the.
But you bring up a very valid example of a rule that we might want to implement there. Should we keep it to maybe only one writer? Should we keep it to maybe only one character group or something like that? I don't know.
I think it should be character group, I guess, because one writer, one book would exclude a lot of really cool shit. Like you couldn't do Jason Aaron's Thor run. That's several books.
Yeah. But if I choose an X-Men run, I can't pick another X-Men run. Like if I pick, I don't know, anybody's run on X-Men, but I also want to pick Uncanny X-Force, but I also want to pick Peter David's X-Factor. This is why my list for best graphic novels, top 5 graphic novels, sucks so bad, because I get into my own brain.
You
know what I
overthink
mean?
it. Yeah.
I trick myself into thinking I'm terrible. and then I actually make.
Well, you are
that
terrible.
come
You don't have
true.
to trick
But then
yourself
I
into
actually
being
make it come true. If I'm terrible,
I guess it's a
Society
self-fulfilling prophecy. Yeah.
society made me this
It's
way.
not a self-fulfilling prophecy, Go. It's just a terrible person all around.
Thanks,
This
David.
is true. Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't even here for top 5.
I know.
Adam
I
was
had a
here.
top 5.
Adam
Well,
was
he
here.
wasn't the only
What
one
was
who
your
wasn't
top
here.
5, real quick, David? Go ahead.
My top 5? Okay. Akira, Mouse. Was it Persephone?
Persepolis.
Persepolis. I can never pronounce it.
That's good.
Watchmen.
Let's go.
And number 1.
And number 1 is also.
I was like, I can't remember.
I had 7 books. And Watchmen.
Top 5, though.
I feel like 1 would be the most memorable one.
Yeah, he's got. Books, and then
I'm not doing them in
I
order
know
either.
it.
I'm not doing them in order either. And I had 7 picks.
Okay, so Akira doesn't count.
Akira counts.
No, because
We
it's
weren't doing
actually
manga.
6 volumes.
It is 6 volumes. Yeah, it's not. It's
I
not
had the same
all
problem,
together.
dude, because it was on my list. It would
Yeah,
definitely be on my best runs.
It had to be if it was just we had to restrict it to 1 volume because that excluded things like Sandman or the entirety of Sandman at least.
Except for you, Taylor, who managed to
I did just 1 volume. I just did Overture.
Shoehorn it in there somehow.
It was just Overture.
It was fine. It was just
Whatever.
Also, coming up this Tuesday is Geek collection. We're doing Gremlin.
Yeah.
I have that picture, but I didn't put it up. I don't know
But you
why.
didn't put it up. You went through all that effort earlier to download it. But
That's
you didn't
really
put it up.
I have it in a different folder and I didn't download that one.
Oh.
But yeah, Geek collection Gremlin.
And I get right on for not being prepared.
What? Well, you didn't know your number 1, top 5.
I just said it wasn't in order.
I love
I had
Gremlin.
7 picks.
I watched it just the other day. I have great notes on it, mostly for the background shit.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because I'm pretty sure I can just go off on anything. So that's something to look forward to. I'm very excited for that. Everybody's invited to that.
It's one of my favorite Christmas movies. So.
Me too, man. Me too. It's great.
Can't
All
wait
right,
to
let's
talk
go
about
on with the show. We're already running late. All right, yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, you guys ready?
No.
it.
Yeah, it's just
yeah,
the fucking
sure.
thing, man.
All right, I'll do. He likes this one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes. I hate this. It is revolting.
More?
Please.
Oh, that's good.
It really is the perfect clip
It is.
for this and like everything else that we do.
Greetings, geeks. Welcome back.
Where was the energy in that?
Welcome back.
Greetings, geeks! Welcome back! This is Outright Geekery's comic book shit talk show. This Geek in Comics!
An impression of me?
No.
Whoa, it's like there's 2 Gomers. What the hell is going on?
Adam Normal Tail. AK David back. Thank goodness. I don't know what we did without him. Had a
I
really
don't know.
fun
The way things have been going this whole show, I probably should just leave.
No, you're fine, bro. Stick around.
No.
Yeah. The second. Yeah, we're back. I don't know. Comic book
Maybe.
shit talk show. Shit talk show. There you go.
Joe.
Great pre-show.
No.
This segment 1, we're just talking about what's going on in the world. Mando just keeps getting better. I rewatched Fight Club, and man, it's great. We'd have to do that for Geekterion, but man, I don't know. We might go on forever talking about all the themes and stuff in there. Anyway, I also, just before the show, started The Queen's Gambit on Netflix. Chess is boring as fuck, but the show's pretty good. That's my segment 1. Man, how about Mando? How about Bill Burr killing it in freaking Mando?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. How did they let him slip that line in? And by you people, I mean Mandalorians. I mean, because that's his whole stand-up shtick, the anti-cancel culture, anti-SJW. It's sort of.
It might also depended on the director too, because the director of this episode was also the director in season 1 that had the episode with him in it too.
Yeah. Well, I think that's kind of how they're doing Mandalorian. It's sort of keeping some of the cast with the same directors because
That's
I'm
good.
not
It
wrong,
gives each episode its own feel to it, you know.
and they're filming them
Yeah.
like they film those concurrently. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like we're gonna film both of these episodes at the same time to save money.
Mhm.
So cool. What's everybody else up to? Good week, bad week?
Man, I've been quarantining all week. We got multiple cases popped up in my work, so you know,
Nice.
I think I'm fine. I have no symptoms or anything. I've taken a test. I'm just waiting on the results. But I've just been hanging out, playing Dark Souls, and watching movies.
Oh, I
Fun.
hope your test
Well,
hope
yeah.
you feel better.
at least the vaccine's starting to
feel
roll out
fine.
now.
Yeah,
Started
it's
to,
still like
yeah.
months.
I think
6
like
months.
Taylor among all four of us would probably be the most likely to get it first because you are like what, a teacher or a substitute teacher?
Teacher, yeah.
You could probably
So
trade
you would
that for
probably
a
be in like
PS5.
the second wave of distribution then.
You could
Not
probably trade that for a
anytime soon,
PS5, bro.
but yeah. First batch is going to healthcare workers and
Elderly.
nursing homes and whatnot. Yeah,
The people who need it the most right
Yeah,
now.
old people.
yeah,
Not old people.
William
just-
Shakespeare.
Yeah.
yeah. Wasn't that the second guy in England that got it?
Yeah, some old dude named William Shakespeare.
Good on
And then he
him.
got made fun of as a kid, but it's paying off now, guys.
You're right.
I bet he didn't get made fun of. I bet they loved it.
but he's doing
I
that
bet he got all
Destiny
the
Child
chicks.
song, I'm a
Bet he got all the
survivor.
chicks. So yeah, I
well.
guess I don't know. I'll be honest. I mean, the pandemic's been terrible. It's one of the worst things that has ever happened to the entire planet, to society. I've come through it pretty easy.
As
I
apocalypses
like being
go,
home. I got all my cool shits here. I got lots of cool shit, y'all. I like
I
being
mean,
home.
A group of people who sit around and talk about comic books are probably not going to be the most overtly affected by being asked to stay home a lot.
Yeah, exactly. And I kind of felt guilty about it, you know? Like, man, everybody's having a terrible time.
you shouldn't.
Yeah, I'm enjoying
But
it.
anyway. But yeah, I'm doing some of my Christmas shopping this weekend.
Oh, I'm done. Done. I do have an old lady, though. She does.
I know what I'm getting everyone at this point. I just have to go out and get it now.
Oh yeah.
What?
Well, you did the hard part. You figured it out.
Yeah.
the knowing's half the battle.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, G.I. Joe.
Getting y'all the same thing I got y'all last year.
Nothing.
Nothing, not a damn thing. What else going on, David? You had a good week?
I had a week.
Awesome.
For
Let's get
sure.
on with the news. Dan, do we have some news? Let's just get this bull crap out of the way.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Let's get the first thing out of the way. Robert Kirkman is dropping a surprise comic book called Solid Blood. And it's weird because it's Solid Blood number 17. He's got like this marketing thing where he has.
But there hasn't been a first 16 issues.
No, there hasn't. There's this. No, he's like all like, I don't know where this came from. He created a YouTube channel and everything, and
Okay.
and he's like, so this is apparently something me and Ryan Otley did. I don't know how we did it because Ryan Otley's working at Marvel, and I got all this stuff going. So yeah, I don't know how this.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Playing it.
I
up.
mean, as far as like marketing gimmicks go, it's not a bad one.
No, it's not bad at
Yeah,
all.
it's not bad.
The biggest deal here is it's a gift to the comic book shops because they can upscale this, mark it up, and
So is this just gonna be a one
was
shot?
a gift to the comic shops.
we don't know anything yet in terms of content or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Do we ever know
Ryan
in terms
Otley,
of content with Kirkman?
Kirkman had a surprise drop last year called Die, 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 and it's wonderful. I love it.
It is.
I love it. All right. Let's get on to what everybody really wants to talk about. Do we just want to go through all the shows one by one?
Yeah, let's just do it.
We probably should.
Gosh,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. That's a lot of work for me.
Roll that beautiful beam footage.
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka.
This is going to be a show now, of course. after
I
the
knew it the
long-awaited
second-
live-action debut of
The second she showed up, man, you knew that was a backdoor pilot for a TV show.
And is
Yeah.
even are pilots even a thing anymore? Because it's more like
I mean, they are still a thing.
it's more like pilot season now.
Yeah.
You know? Like everybody just gets
On the
their own-
streaming services, yeah, they're gonna make a whole season at once. So there's not going to be as much like make an episode and see if it sticks type of deal. It is make a season and see if it sticks type of deal.
It's wonderful. Also, hold on, let me. I'm uploading.
I love that logo too.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
dude, it's dope. It's weird, but yeah, I love the font. Rangers of the New Republic. Now this appears to be a spin-off of the Gina Carrara or whatever. What's her name? Cara Dune.
This is
So,
cool. Yeah.
it's cool, dude.
I'm cool for
Everything.
anything that is Star Wars and not Jedi is awesome for me.
Yes. Sprinkle some Jedi in there.
I mean, yeah, you can sprinkle in there, but anything that's not Skywalker shit.
It is kind of refreshing in recent years that they're starting to do a lot of Star Wars stuff that is the universe, but not like some big saga,
Yeah, it's
right.
like the Skywalker saga kind of bogged things down a little bit, and they were like, oh, well, we'll do cartoons, but that's, all we're going to do.
It's still part of the Skywalker saga.
What is?
Like
Clone
sure,
Wars
and stuff, I guess,
sure.
yeah.
Even Rebels to an extent. Sure. Andor. Everybody's been talking about this one. This is going to the Rogue One spinoff.
Mm-hmm.
Not my favorite character from it. Give me the show with K2SO.
Give me the show with those dudes.
He might show up in this one, yeah.
It ain't good. I mean, he hangs out with Andor, so yeah.
Yeah, come on, Dave.
Andor has the most narrative potential of all the characters from Rebels. Like, he's off doing, wet works missions for the Rebel Alliance. There's plenty of storytelling potential there. So,
other than Felicity Jones' character from Rogue One, he was the one who had the most background story potential to explore and flesh out.
Yeah, and I'm anxious.
Daddy wasn't a super weapons designer.
Cool guy. Of course,
Obi-Wan.
But we got big news for this because Hayden Christensen's coming back as Darth Vader.
No.
For sure. And that's some punishment, right? Dude hates sand, and then Obi-Wan's like,
okay, so I'll go ahead and say that I think all the bullshit with Anakin from the prequel trilogy was not Hayden Christensen's fault. That was shitty writing, shitty direction. I think
Shitty acting.
The acting wasn't bad. I didn't mind the dialogue.
It was like very
dialogue was really bad. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I am not against Hayden Christensen coming back. I'm willing to give him the chance. And he probably Darth Vader probably won't be that big of a presence on. Like he'll probably be in the show, but he probably won't be like a central character in the show taking up a lot of screen time.
This implies that this show is just going to take place on Tatooine for the most part, ain't it?
Well, we don't know. We don't know. We don't know anything at all. Except Christian is coming back. I didn't mind the prequels. They were a love story, a little bit too heavy when it should have been more of a political story. But that's fine.
Prequels were a good story that was not told well.
Yeah, exactly. I agree 100%. The Bad Batch.
Ooh, yes.
Clone Wars spinoff, kind of.
Yeah.
Go ahead, David. This is your bag, baby.
This was part of the Lost Episode season, the last season. We have basically these clones that have some kind of variation from the standard genetic template. One looks just like Rambo. They are some pretty bad dudes here.
Bad dudes.
That's fun.
There's some bad mamma jammas.
There's some bad motherfuckers.
Also, Visions was announced. This is the anime series. It's more of an anthology collection.
That's cool. You could do a lot of weird stuff with anime that you can't do with live action.
Are we talking like alternate Star Wars timelines and stuff like they had, like the Dark Horse line had like the different alternate lines where like Leia became Yoda's student and all that?
No, this isn't like a what if sort of thing. If that's what you're asking.
That's what I'm asking.
No, it's not. It's more of a hold on. I'm reading. Series of animated shorts celebrating Star Wars through the lens of anime. So it's just anime. That's it.
Just anime shorts.
Japanese animation studios offering fresh and diverse cultural perspectives to Star Wars.
That'd be cool.
So
you can do a lot of weird stuff with the aliens and whatnot.
Yeah. So nothing to go on as far as what it's actually about. More just like a exploration of it from a different genre, right?
Basically.
Exactly. Yeah. And now there is like an anime thing on YouTube where it's like a starfighters fighting. Dude, that's rad, man.
But that was a fan created.
Exactly. That was a fan thing. But that was rad. You know what I'm talking about, though.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
That sort of model, that sort of style. Hell yeah, I'm cool with that. And anime's hot right now. Some of these I don't have art for. Lando was announced. We know nothing
Yeah.
about that. We don't know if it's going to be old Lando or young Lando. Justin Simeon is attached to it. He created Dear White People.
Either way, I like Lando.
Yeah, I like Lando. I had no problem with Lando in that.
No, I had no problem with Lando either. And
Lando is
Well,
also, yeah.
The thing about Lando is Billy D. Williams will always be down to play Lando.
How about they do both?
They could.
Yeah.
Both, and they tell two stories that are kind of, you know what I mean, young and old. That'd be a
Yeah.
good. That'd
And if
be a
they could get Donald Glover back to do it, that would be pretty
that'd be
amazing.
so rad. He's a busy guy though, man.
He is. I don't know how he finds time to do anything, honestly.
Right. The Acolyte was announced. I don't have art for this either. Sorry. Leslie Headland, Emmy Award nominated creator of the mind-bending series Russian Doll, which is pretty cool. It was kind of like Groundhog Day. It was a good. It was a good sort of thing. Brings new Star Wars series Disney Plus with The Acolyte, the mystery thriller that will take viewers into a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era.
interesting.
Very interesting. Sounds Game of Thrones-ish, you know?
Yeah.
So very, very
Ooh, very, very.
Dark Plague is kind of leading into
It's
50.
very, very,
Very, very.
very, very. A droid story was also announced. I don't know.
Bring back Andy Kaufman.
An intersection of animation and visual effects offers new opportunities to explore. Lucasfilm Animation is teaming up with Lucasfilm Visual Effects team, ILM, to develop a special Star Wars adventure film called A Droid Story. This epic journey will introduce us to a new hero guided by legendary duo R2-D2 and C-3PO. So it sounds sort of like an experimental sort of crisscross applesauce. Go ahead.
Could be
No
fun.
comments on that. It does sound fun.
I don't know how to follow up crisscross applesauce. So
This is the last on the Lucasfilm thing. Willow.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely excited for it.
Willow was already announced, basically.
Basically,
They
yeah.
did.
We kind of
Now-
knew it was coming.
Yeah, now
Is this
it's
going to be like a
confirmed.
reboot or a television series?
I
Or
think
No,
it's a
dude.
sequel.
It's a sequel.
They
Okay.
have
They're
a
bringing
sequel.
Warwick Davis back and everything.
Yeah, dude.
I have to
Really?
confess, I had never heard of this before I heard about Disney acquiring the rights to make it.
Did you have Disney Plus?
Yes.
It's on Disney Plus. You have to watch it, bro. It's all right. It's not Lord of the Rings.
It's not Lord of the Rings at all,
But
but
it's
it
a
is.
fantasy magic. It's like if you and your friends got together to play D&D.
Didn't
like,
didn't
"Hey,
Ron
let's
Howard
do
direct it?
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
This is what it would probably end up being.
Didn't Ron
Okay.
Howard direct this?
Yeah. Ron Howard's in it. Val Kilmer is in it when he was in his prime.
Mad Mardigan?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty rad, dude. I think you'll like it.
Okay.
It's like a little kid's version of Conan, kind of.
Kind of, yeah.
Weird, dude, but it's
All right.
great.
You got
Remember the
you
brownies
It's
in
a
that?
fun movie.
Yeah, it's
You got-
just fun.
got the two guys from Laverne and Shirley as like the brownies.
I don't think it was Lenny and Squiggy.
I would
Well,
think-
David might have just torpedoed this whole thing for me. So,
Yeah.
oh well.
What else we got?
that's what I do.
Listen, you want to move? We'll move on to the Marvel WandaVision. Of course, they had a great trailer. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh! That
I'm
trailer
so, yeah,
was
this thing to come
um,
out.
It was the biggest look we've seen yet, and it's kind of giving us more of like the overarching story here that somebody's apparently got Wanda in like some sort of observation, right? That
Yeah, it seems like that, man.
this
I'm
isn't
not
necessarily just her doing like House of M. This is more she's being coerced, I guess. I don't really know.
That's part
But
of the
hey,
mystery.
it's less than a month. It's
a
like
mystery.
no, it's
So
a little bit
figure
over
out.
a month now. It's like 30-something days away, so
Yeah.
we'll see soon enough.
Very excited for that
I'm
one.
very excited. Yeah.
Oh, I am
Falcon,
down. Yeah.
Falcon Winter Soldier got a trailer. Not much there. A lot of action though, so you know it's going to be. I mean, some of the action sequences in this show were like when Falcon's flying through the canyons and the missiles. You know, he's dodging them, dude. That's like right
Well-
out of movies. That's high class.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
all the action in all the Captain America movies is fantastic. So they got to bring that into the show.
Yeah, Baron Zemo's coming back for that. Emily Van
Mhm.
Camp is Sharon Carter, and we also will get John Walker, so that'll be fun.
You know,
So
it's
this is my
also-
biggest. Go ahead, yes, Taylor.
It's just also it was kind of cool seeing some more of the rapport that Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie have. They were really good, but we didn't see much of it, right, in Civil War. But so
It's all a little
it's
bit,
fun
but
seeing
not
more of that.
Yeah.
They build off of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm expecting like a buddy cop sort of thing. You know, lots of
Probably.
action, lots of one-liners back and forth, cutting up, stuff like that.
Like,
But
apparently, he's sticking it out with the U.S. agent for the Shield and all that.
the true gem, honestly, of the show for me, the whole Investor Day show, was Loki and the trailer they showed for Loki. Oh my god, I watched it like 5 or 6 times, dude. I couldn't. He's like whatever DB Cooper or in one of the
DB Cooper. Yeah.
Yep.
What the hell is going on in this? They introduced the TVA, the time and space I don't know. They introduced Mr. Mobius in there, which is what's his name's character when they're in the elevator.
Owen Wilson's.
Yeah, Owen Wilson's character is.
Wow.
You know how they discovered that was his name?
Is that who that was? I didn't even recognize him. Wow.
Yeah, it was Owen Wilson playing. You know how they figured out that was the character's name? They turned on the captions on the YouTube trailer. When you turn on closed caption, it has the dude's name right there who's speaking.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a screw up by Disney or what, but oh man, that trailer blew me away, dude.
That's
Blew
pretty
me
cool.
away.
It looked really rad. Yeah.
It did look good.
What If, which is their animated. Obviously, anybody who's a comic fan knows what fucking What If is. So.
Yep. Here's your What If, David. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for this. I love Marvel What Ifs. So
Yeah, they announced a few of them too. We're gonna have T'Challa as Star-Lord.
So cool.
Peggy Carter is Captain America.
Yep,
we knew
or
that
Captain
one.
Britain, I think, rather.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
We'll
They're also doing a zombie. There's going to be a zombie thing in there, so that'll be rad. And nothing bad yet. What else?
Something was Doctor Strange.
There's Miss Marvel.
yeah, this will be exciting too.
They had like some sizzle reel footage for that. That looked pretty cool.
It was all right. This is what you expect. It's going to be like a young person show, and I'm fine with that. It's a book.
There's enough Marvel for everyone.
Yeah, that's who Miss Marvel is. So yeah, why wouldn't you go that way?
Hawkeye's debuting in late 2021. That's filming now. With
there's been some pictures from the set on that. Looks pretty good.
Kate.
She-Hulk, Tatiana Maslany. That's actually a comedy, I've heard.
A comedy, really?
Yes. So
interesting.
We'll see how that goes.
But it is going to have.
It's going to be like Night Court.
Yeah, right. Night Court.
It's going to have Mark Ruffalo in
Harry Anderson.
Go ahead, Taylor.
Oh, but it is going to have Mark Ruffalo and Abomination in it.
Tim Roth. Yeah, Tim Roth is back.
Oh, Tim Roth is back.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
There's also a rumor going around because one of the things that was said during the presentation of She-Hulk, they said you never know who you'll see in the courtroom, and everyone is like, "Oh, that's Daredevil showing up."
Well, they did say that he's back as Daredevil, right?
He's going to be in Spider-Man, yeah.
They have the rights back. I don't know if that's confirmed, dude.
I'm pretty
a
sure
rumor I've seen going around.
It's hard to tell what is and isn't a fucking rumor at this point.
I am in the new Spider-Man movie. Okay,
yeah, we can get to that one later, I guess. But yeah.
Moon Knight, Secret Invasion was announced with I don't know. Nick Fury's going to be in that. Ben Mendelsohn is the Skrull Talos. One of my favorite events, dude.
Yeah, I love me some
Secret
Moon Knight.
Invasion. It's so fun because they had everybody second guessing who they were, and it was so much fun. A little bit derivative of Battlestar Galactica, but hey, whatever. Ironheart was announced. They announced Dominique Thorne as Riri Williams. Armor Wars was announced with Don Cheadle coming back as Rhodey. There's a Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was also confirmed.
Life Day.
And there's also an I Am Groot animated shorts.
That's going to be fun too, yeah.
I think that's everything, dude. I do have a Doc Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness, the art for it, but we knew that. They also announced that the Fantastic Four is confirmed.
John Watts is directing it, so it'll be okay, probably.
I need to know more. I need to know cast.
I definitely need to know cast. I need to know who the villain is.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing on Fantastic Four right now, and we knew this was coming, but it was still a thrill to see the logo,
Yeah.
the 4 like on the
I don't
screen
know.
and
I
everything.
don't know how I missed the Rogue Squadron. There's a Rogue Squadron movie that was announced. I guess
Oh
'cause
yeah.
I guess it was because that's
Oh, and
theatrical.
who was
Yeah, it's an actual movie.
that? Is
Yeah,
going to be
Patty
theatrical. That's
Jenkins.
not everything else we've been talking about has been Disney Plus. That was one of the movies that they announced.
Yeah, that's Patty
Being
Jenkins.
directed by Patty Jenkins. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be exciting.
It's gonna be so good,
Yeah.
dude. They did confirm Doctor Strange 2 was a thing, and I don't know what else with that. I don't know. Captain Marvel 2 was confirmed with Miss Marvel showing up along with Jessica Rambeau as well. That'll be cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll throw this up. Ant-Man and the Wasp 3 was confirmed to just be Ant-Man and Wasp 2. Quantum Mania. That sounds so cool.
Quantum Mania.
Sunday.
You're taking face for the whole, but you'll only need the edge.
On a quantum level.
Do we know
that's
anything
what
about that
rocks.
other than the name?
Quantum Mania. We know that Kang's going to be in it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
Yeah, so
pretty
there's-
awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
I love me some Kang.
I don't know, man. Anything else you guys can think of? I have a lot more, but it's
They
all
confirmed who Christian Bale is going to be in Thor: Love and Thunder. He's going to be Gore the God Butcher.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
That's
They
exciting.
shared an image of what he's supposed to look like in the movie too,
Yeah.
which
Oh,
looks like
Jason Aaron's Thor run keeps going up in price.
Yeah, get your Thor number 2. Go get that slabbed right now. The first appearance.
Well, they also announced a bunch of like animated movies and shows for Disney Plus and theatrical release. I mean,
Go ahead, man. I got like an inside Pixar. Soul is coming on the 25th.
yeah, we've got a series. We got like Zootopia, Baymax, Moana.
Yep.
And I'm not sure how to pronounce the last one. It's like Iwaju.
Iwaju. That's actually a an African property that Marvel has. It
And
looks
some-
really cool.
And something from Pixar called Turning Red, which
That's
has
a
a very large red panda in it.
Yeah, that's a movie. But they also announced the new series, and this has a Marvel sort of tie-in, the Buzz Lightyear origin story, where Chris Evans
Yep.
is going to be the voice of Buzz.
It's really Steve
Right.
Rogers as he's traveling to return the gems.
Right.
Sure, why not?
We also have some Eternals. You know, they confirmed dates and things for Eternals, but that's all going to change most likely.
Probably.
I don't know anything else, man. There was just
One thing that's interesting, that's something we could actually, I guess, talk about here. So apparently they have said that they do not plan on recasting Chadwick Boseman in Black Panther 2, which I get why they're doing that, but I'm also left with a lot of questions, right? So does that mean T'Challa is not going to be in Black Panther 2? Or are they going to do like a like what they did with Carrie Fisher for Rise of Skywalker? I doubt that too. Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Don't
right.
know.
We
Can't
do have
tell
a
you.
lot of questions. Everyone's assumption now is that Shuri is just going to take up the mantle. I'm not sure if
I don't know. She's got
Maybe.
some heat on her now, though.
she does have some heat in terms of her posting an anti-vax video on Twitter or Instagram, someplace. I don't know. Honestly, if it was me, if I had my vote, I would like to see Baku take over for a little while, and then through the course of the movie, sort of have him go through a journey where no, I'll reject it, and then gives it to Shuri. Because if you remember the first one, he had all these doubts.
So is T'Challa dead then in this movie?
I'm not sure. That would be my guess, that they would just, but that seems weird too. There's no good options. There are no good options.
This is one of
options.
This is one of those, pick your best bad option type of deals.
I think it's still going to be a good movie. I think they're still going to
I don't doubt it. Yeah.
dollars off of it, but there was one thing that I wanted to mention called Win or Lose on Disney Plus. This is Pixar's first ever original animated series, long form animated. It follows a co-ed middle school softball team in the week leading up to their championship game, and each episode highlights the perspective of a different character and explores the drama of bad calls made on and off the field.
Interesting.
That sounds so dope, dude. I don't know why.
That sounds
A very
interesting.
specific Bad News Bears.
Yes, it sounds like Bad News Bears, but like woke. It's like woke Bad News Bears.
But that's
Sorry, did you say a dodgeball team?
No, softball.
Oh, sorry.
Softball
Okay.
might be better, Taylor. You might be onto something.
I mean, that'd be neat, but I don't know that a lot of like schools field dodgeball teams and like
Yeah.
dodgeball leagues or anything. But
I mean, I'm
no.
going to go through a few of these really quick. Okay, Hocus Pocus 2, 3 Men and a Baby remake.
With
That's with
Zac
Zac
Efron.
Safety, which is actually on Disney Plus right now. It's a drama about a Clemson University football player who has challenging circumstances. Keenan Lowe Project, real life story of a high school coach who averted tragedy through compassion. The Rock is supposed to be in that, so you know it's going to be dope. Geek Freak, the Chris Paul Project, Flora and Ulysses is an animated thing. Cheaper by the Dozen is getting a remake with Blackish producer Kenya Barris. Gabrielle Union is set to star in that, so a little race swap there. It's a good idea. The Cheaper by the Dozen movie sucked. So
Yeah,
bad.
they weren't great.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
I mean, they were like disposable, like
Yeah.
like
They were Steve Martin vehicles.
they weren't outrageously bad.
They weren't
or
terrible, but
good.
they weren't good anyway.
They were very forgettable. Yeah.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid is getting an animated series on D+. The Ice Age, which I've totally forgot that Disney now owns Ice Age.
Disney owns
Really?
Ice Age.
Was
That's
that
interesting.
Fox?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's getting
Sometimes like I forget what all Fox owned. Yeah.
it was so much, dude. It was. Oh, they did announce Alien shows coming to FX.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
rad,
I'm really
rad.
excited about that actually.
That
I
sounds
think
cool.
because Alien in the movies is really played out now. The last couple movies have all sucked, so I'm really excited to see what they can do with a TV show format.
Well, I would love to see an Alien TV
Like,
show. Get it. I want a
If
Predator.
we're measuring out a scale,
Mhm.
the bad Alien movies far outweigh the good Alien
Oh,
movies.
definitely.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, there's like 7 Alien movies, and only 2 of them are really worth a crap.
Same thing with the Predator
Yeah.
movies. Only like 2 or 3 of those are worth a damn.
Well, there's only one really good Predator movie.
I like the second one.
I like the
Danny
second one.
Glover in the second one.
And I like
he's pretty
Alien
good.
versus Predator.
Nah.
Where they go
Really?
to like, isn't that the one where they go to like the South Pole and there's
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one sucked.
I
That's
love
the
that
first
one.
one.
That was
dude.
PG-13. They
Dumb,
couldn't
but
do
in like a
big
fairly
part of that one.
entertaining way, I think.
Yeah,
So,
it was very
yeah.
entertaining, but yeah,
That-
it was PG-13. It was dumb. But
The first Predator with Schwarzenegger is good. Then that Predators where they were taken to the alien planet's decent, and then that most recent one is okay. And then anything in between that is bad. I
the
will
recent
give.
one with what's her name from Tech TV or G4.
Oh, Olivia Munn. That one's terrible.
Is that the
It
one
is
you mean?
bad.
The new
It is
one.
bad, but if you watch it, they're basically harvesting the genetic materials to make themselves better. And autism apparently
like
is what
that
makes humans
idea.
better.
I don't like that idea at all. I think that's silly. Anyway, Night at the Museum. There's a new. It's animated. New animated. They did announce Chippendale Rescue Rangers, a hybrid live-action animated feature for D+. Akiva Schaffer is directing. John Mulaney and Andy Samberg are set to star in the title roles, with Seth Rogen doing a cameo. I don't know what that means. Doing a cameo.
He's Monterey Jack.
That would be more than a
love-
cameo, then, right?
I love, yeah, right. I loved some Rescue Rangers. Ratchet on that show was probably one of my first crushes. I love
Rescue Rangers was one of the mainstays on that Disney animation block in the 90s.
Yeah, the afternoon.
It was.
Where are the gummy bears?
No, Gummy Bears was
Who
okay.
fucking cares?
Gummy Bears
I
was
do.
Okay.
Tailspin was better than Gummy
I
Bears.
want the gummy bears. versus
Everything
the
was
Care
better
Bears.
than Gummy Bears.
Pinocchio and Peter Pan and Wendy live action
No,
remakes.
Isn't Tom Hanks like associated with the Pinocchio?
Yeah, it's Robert.
Yeah, isn't he Geppetto or something?
Yeah,
Oh wow.
Robert Zemeckis
Okay.
is
Yeah.
directing and Tom Hanks is starring.
Oh
Those are-
man, Tom Hanks as Geppetto on Fables would be awesome.
Those two were actually supposed to get theatrical.
They're not gonna do that, but that
I
would
know.
be awesome.
Tom Hanks is physically incapable of being that evil.
Enchanted is a sequel to.
I don't know. Did you ever watch The Polar Express?
Oh, that wasn't his fault. That was a computer animation.
That's fine.
Sister Act 3 was also confirmed with Whoopi Goldberg, Tyler Perry as
Yeah.
son to produce. I'm a big fan of the Sister Act movies. I'm sorry, they're great.
I feel like the window on that one's closed, though. You know, that was a while ago.
Look,
I
it took them
would be-
28
She'll
years
come back
to make a
shining
sequel
on
to Tron.
Hard, mark my words, she will be back.
I'd be more excited about it if Tyler Perry's name was not associated with it.
What do you
He's the
mean?
new
I don't-
sister
I
of
don't-
Sister Act.
I don't really like
I love all those
Yeah,
Medea movies.
All those Tyler
Medea on Sister Act would be hilarious.
You know he's gonna show up, or she gonna show up. You know she is.
I think Tyler Perry said he's done doing Medea.
And then we get a new Medea movie.
I don't know.
But I actually like the first two Sister Act movies, so like
Yeah.
I will watch this.
I love that. Also, Raya and the Last Dragon. Baymax is getting a movie, as previously mentioned. Zootopia, Uaju, Tiana, Moana, Cousteau, Genius. These are all coming to Nat Geo. Nat Geo is doing a thing called The Real Bugs Life, where they're using miniaturized camera technology to get a up close and personal look at bugs.
That's cool.
Dave,
I'm really excited about that. I don't know
an
why.
Attenborough-esque narration would make that awesome.
So yeah, man, I don't even. Oh, the Mighty Ducks is getting a show. Lauren
Emilio
Graham,
Estevez is coming back.
yeah, and Lauren Graham is tied to that. Just a Turner and Hooch remake.
Turner and Hooch.
Tom Hanks, very underrated. Tom Hanks movie.
Yeah.
Anything else? Jeez,
I don't know,
I
man.
know
There's
Hulu-
so much.
Hulu had some stuff. Like I saw like Why the Last Man associated with Hulu.
Oh,
Yeah.
I saw that with FX, I think. is what it
yeah.
was.
Why the Last Man is coming to Hulu. I'm sorry.
Was it Hulu?
No, it's FX, but Hulu is everything on FX immediately goes to
Goes
Hulu.
on to Hulu, yeah.
So it's the same thing. But I have concerns about this show.
What?
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. Nobody's gonna watch it.
Oh yeah.
Like Deadly Class on Sci-Fi, it was awesome, and nobody watched it.
Well, it's
Why
on
the Last
FX.
Man
A lot
is one of
lot
those
more
things
people
where,
watch FX. I mean, people
Being
gave
on
Legion a
Hulu is
chance.
gonna help it too. Being on Hulu is gonna help it too.
But like, Why the Last Man is one of those things where like anyone who's like a serious comic reader has probably at least heard of it, like knows the reputation, but that has not penetrated the wider pop culture at all.
Yes,
It doesn't have
And
any
it-
sort of name recognition with it.
And honestly, this show, it's either going to do one or two things. It's going to push Why the Last Man in back down into just comic book obscurity where only us, the fans, know how awesome and amazing it is. How about that ending? But if this show takes off, dude, why is he'll go back to it. He will do more Why the Last Man, I think, if this takes off. Yeah, that's it. What else? Anything else? My goodness.
I think that's it, man.
I think he
there's
got
a
all
lot.
the big stuff. Yeah.
Holy crap. All right, so what strikes your fancy the most? What are you most excited for? Honestly,
I don't know,
it's
man.
Loki for me, dude. I cannot
Yeah.
wait for freaking Loki. It looks so good. It looks
Okay, so
so
of all the stuff we got trailers for, yeah, Loki. Although I liked all of them, I should stress.
Yeah.
But Loki did the most. I guess we knew the least about that. I mean, WandaVision's pretty secretive and everything, but we've seen some trailers before, so we at least had like a general
and
idea.
lots of posters. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas Loki like made the biggest splash here because this is the first we really saw of it.
And oh man. But anything else though? I mean, that Rogue One movie, that's gonna be cool.
Yeah, I'm really jazzed about Fantastic Four. I mean, I know we all knew it was coming, but it's been a long time coming. And this could be the first time we ever get a really cool Fantastic Four movie.
As much as I have a special place in my
Fourth
heart
time's the charm.
for those first two, you know,
The ones in the
Jessica-
2000s, I have a fondness for, sure.
Yes,
But,
exactly.
like-
It's like,
They're cheesy. They're okay.
And we're
They're
not even. We haven't even dared to mention the Corbin Burnson one.
the which one?
The Corbin Burnson one.
Is that even out? It's even actually released, was it?
No, you have to find
Oh,
it
yeah,
with
who cares?
bootlegs.
They released it on YouTube or something like that officially.
yeah.
And Fan Four Stick was hot garbage, of course.
Oh my gosh,
But-
it's so bad. It's so
but-
bad.
Yeah, I have a fondness for the older, like.
I do too, man. I don't know
Michael
what it is.
Chiklis ones,
They're,
yeah.
they're terrible. They are.
They're
They're not
they have a
good,
good
but-
sense of family about them, and they're fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
They're
mean,
cheesy fun.
I feel like they hit
They're not good.
I feel like they hit the target that they were aiming for. They
Yeah.
were just trying to make some like chintzy little movies, you know.
Right.
So, first villain for the FF movie?
Doctor
Well, it's got-
Doom.
You gotta save Doom.
It's gotta be Mole Man.
I mean-
we want it to be Mole Man, but
Everyone wants Doom to be the big bad now. You know, he's the
You
new
need to do-
Thanos.
You need to do the Thanos treatment. You know,
Yeah,
tease him,
build
bring him
up
on
Dr.
little by
Doom.
little.
Doctor Doom is worth the build up. Let's not just throw him straight in.
Yeah. So, who do you want for your first villain? Your first FF villain? Mole Man's fine, right?
Well, that's fine, sure.
Yeah. I love Mole Man. Mole Man sort of has his own sort of weird family thing going on with his little moloid, you know, so that'll be a nice, I think,
I saw somebody give a pretty good pitch for Puppet Master.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. We've already had sort of characters like that in, well, maybe the extended Marvel universe, if you want to call those Netflix shows that. Food news coming out later, way later. Mallow Top Reese's Cups are being teased for Easter, obviously.
Ooh.
Not
But the-
spotted in stores yet.
But the thing is that these are already like several years too late
why?
because there is already a Reese's peanut butter cup type candy called Mallow Cup that has marshmallow filling.
It's not the same.
It's
No one
not
cares.
the same.
About this knockoff, man. These are Reese's.
It's not a
You're talking
knockoff.
about-
Yeah.
The
Keep
Mallow
your
Cup
shit
is
candy
not a
to
knockoff
yourself.
because it predates.
Oh, listen to you. You know, the guy who invented the GIF says that we should call it the GIF, but I ain't listening to his bitch ass either. Okay. Let's do. Oh God, I picked the long one. We're not.
Man, you always pick the long
we're
one.
not doing the long one.
Well, you might as well have done the long one because damn, this
The
issue
dirty,
was
the dirty
fucking
secret
long one.
is Gomer deleted the short one.
No, I have the short one. I just they look the same. They have the same.
They run the same link because
They have
it's the same thing.
thumbnail. Yes, Adam, please. Brian Ruckley, Anna Malkova in the giant size.
All right, all right.
Transformers number 25.
So first off, let's talk about the fact that this book is $7.99. This
It's
book,
cheaper.
It's double size.
it's double sized, but this book is not good enough to deserve to be $8.
No.
It's just a way too expensive, man. But anyway, getting into the actual meat of the story. So, this issue starts with Wheeljack crashing down to Cybertron, where he instantly meets Runamuck and Runabout. They're like, "Hey, are you a Decepticon?" He's like, "What's a Decepticon?"
He's like,
They're like,
what-
"Wrong answer," and they just start beating the crap out of him. He gets saved by Streetwise. Then we kind of jump over to Megatron, and he's kind of bickering with Sentinel Prime, who's his prisoner. They have a very surface level argument, sort of about their political views, where Megatron's all about expansionism and Sentinel's all about, pacing yourself. Don't want to. Yeah.
Conservation, really, in the most general way.
Mhm.
Not conservative. Conservation.
Yeah. But then he goes and he gets into a little argument with Orion Pax, and he's just mad at him because he had Bumblebee spy on him. Then he goes and he gives like the most.
David doing? Jesus, sounds like he's sanding the floor. He's doing workshopping.
I don't know what he's doing, man. But then Megatron goes and he gives like the most basic dictator speech of all time to all of Cybertron. He's just all like, "Hey, we're gonna give you elections eventually. We're gonna give you representatives eventually. But right now, everybody stay in your homes. And if you don't, we're gonna kill you because that means you're not following the law." It's like it's so see-through.
So bad.
It's so bad.
All right, so things are finally happening. Sure,
They're happening.
I have
Yeah.
absolutely no investment at all in any of those.
But I have no investment at all. I'm getting there. So things are happening, and Megatron and Orion, they're doing stuff, but we've spent almost no time in these 25 issues actually with Orion and Megatron to learn what their real motivations are, why they're doing the things they're doing. We know the surface level of Megatron wants to expand, but why does he want to do that? We don't really know why. We knew why in the last iteration. It was because he was against functionalism and he was actively being oppressed.
altruistic in a way.
Right. This one we just don't know anything about him, and because this it does the Walking Dead thing where it spends a lot of time on ancillary characters that don't matter, just so it can kill them off.
It didn't even spend a lot of time with the folks that murdered in this issue.
No, it didn't. And so,
But he murdered a lot of folks in this issue.
He did. He'll introduce characters and he'll give them like one character trait or something that they'll explain to you, their backstory or something.
Yeah.
Then they instantly get killed off. And so all the characters we have built up investment are either dead and then all these old characters we do know we have no investment in because we've spent no time to learn about them.
Where's Cyclonus?
I have no idea what
He was
Cyclone is.
awesome. Where the hell's he been?
But anyway, so getting back to the story, so Cup and Hound, they attack the Senate building while Ironhide and his crew, they infiltrate through the bottom. They free Sentinel in Orion.
And how about this prison? You're talking about a prison break, okay?
Yeah.
Basically, and they were the diversion. That prison break should have been layered. David, what are you doing? Are you eating spaghetti?
No, I'm
like you're
listening to
eating-
you, and you like
It sounds like you're eating
prison
spaghetti.
bake, prison bake.
Prison bake. That's when everybody brings cakes to the prison.
I mean, I have
With the
nothing to
files
contribute here, but I'm trying to be polite and quiet over here. You know?
Thanks, Taylor. I appreciate it.
He said something funny, and I chuckled.
It sounds like you're eating spaghetti. So
I'm not eating anything. I
the
don't even have
prison
anything
bake-
to drink.
the prison bake could have been. Are you drinking it from like a school water fountain?
No.
The prison bake, dude. It could have been so much more elaborate. They could have done so much more with it.
They
It
could have
was-
been.
It was basically
They
here's
could've
our
put a file
distraction.
in it.
Now we're not like a file, but it was very straightforward.
Yeah.
It wasn't elaborate at all. There was nothing like.
I will
Ocean's
say the
11
action
style
scenes-
awesome.
I will say the action scenes, they're well constructed. They're fun to watch. There's this whole railgun scene where while I have zero investment with the people getting killed in this railgun
Yeah.
scene, it was really well done as far as the panel construction and how people's heads were blowing off and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
Sentinel got taken out not by the Seekers, by the Stormers,
yeah,
and it was
So
stupid.
Sentinel's an
He went out
idiot.
like a bitch.
he did go out like a bitch. So they free him, and he goes, "I need to go talk to the people." He just straight up leaves with no guards or anything. And then the three Stormers, who he knows are there, go in. They chase off after him, and they fucking kick the shit out of
It
him,
was a
which is a
great
really cool scene. It was,
Acid Storm melting him was dope. But
it was dope looking. And Nova Storm going straight through him, through his
Yeah.
chest, like Green Goblin.
right. So, and that's basically it. And then I guess Optimus goes into the Matrix, gets the Matrix. Boom, there you go.
And he becomes Optimus Prime.
And he becomes Optimus Prime. So the story here is solid, but I'm not invested in it at all because I'm not invested in the characters. The relationships are trash. They're not fleshed out. There's no compelling factors of any of the characters. Not even Optimus Prime is like an unwilling. They sort of allude to it in this cool moment where he's inside the Matrix. They allude to the fact that he's got to make this choice.
Yeah, he
And
kind of
he
has
beats
like
Morpheus.
he has that Matrix choice, you know.
But he
red
doesn't
pill,
make
blue
the
pill.
choice. He just sort of goes
Well,
and does
he
it.
makes the choice, but it's done off panel, which
And
is
I'm not
the mistake.
invested in that.
Yep.
So, all right, here's those pages. This looks awesome. This is Triptychon fighting Metroplex. This looks
Oh
like
yeah, the art is fantastic.
this looks like Giant Scorponok
Mm-hmm.
doing some shit. Here's the second one. Look at this. This is a giant robot head up here in the top center. And if you look, that giant robot is opening the matrix that all these other primes are coming out of. This is an amazing page, dude, but it all just falls flat because I don't give a shit.
Pretty
a lot
much.
a lot of robot spiritualism there, huh?
It was, but man, it really dropped the ball, dude. It really
Which is a shame because that was the best part of the last run was all
Yeah.
the spiritualism, all the lore, and
yeah.
the background stuff for the Transformers. But you know, whatever. So it still had really fun action scenes though.
I
Like
had fun action scenes, but I
that
didn't
real
care.
gun scene was fun. Sideswipe
Yeah.
was cool.
I didn't care about any of the deaths. That was my problem. I'm not invested in any of these characters yet, or
Yeah,
at all.
Sentinel's a
25
bitch.
issues. Sentinel went out like a bitch. And what are we supposed to be invested in? What's coming next? We know what comes next. We've read that a million times.
Mhm.
Whatever. Let's go into that regular. I'm going first this week. Damn it. All right. Again, it was sort of slim pickings. I had trouble coming up with 3 books really this week. I skipped all that DC shit. I'm kind of done with the Dark Multiverse. I just want Death Metal to kind of be over. You know, it's good, but I just want to get to the end of it. All this shit just seems weird. Homesick Pilots #1 meandered a bit for me, but I'm pretty sure we're going to talk about that later because David's here. Honorable mentions: Avengers #39 by Aaron and Keown. It was
It's okay.
just as slow of a crawl in this issue as this entire series has been. But
Yeah,
somehow, some way, Jason Aaron still makes it entertaining, and the
he's a
1
good
million,
writer. He's just
Yeah.
not progressing his plot very
yeah,
fast.
the
Yeah,
1 million.
I feel like he's been world building his like little threats to the Avenger posse, and with
Well-
all this like 1 million BC stuff.
I
Yeah.
feel
For
like
a while.
he's been introducing this BC stuff for like 2 years at this
It does
point.
feel that
Yeah.
way. It really does.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting seeing the Xavier's cave for gifted Neanderthals here,
Dude,
but
it was
you know,
dope.
Yeah.
That's what was so entertaining about it. The X-Men, sort of angles. Venom number 31 by Cates and Coella is also an honorable mention. Definitely a tie-in to King in Black, definitely. But it didn't add anything to the event. If you go to King in Black at the end, Brock gets thrown off of a building. This is him just thinking about shit as he falls.
Oh, so they take a page out of Megamind.
Yeah, right. It lacked any substance at all, but it was still worth mentioning. My number 3 pick, Marauders, number 16, Jerry, Gary, Doug, and Dugan, Stefano Caselli, Red Revenge as Kate and Emma take it to Sebastian Shaw. Holy shit. I love that so much.
Right in
Destroying,
the
and
nuts.
even worse than that, destroying his expensive whiskey.
No.
They removed his eye via dragon, like Loki
Via Dragon. Did
and
like
took his eye. Really playing with the idea of the Hellfire Club as a whole, the cutthroat sort of, organization that they are, within the new X-Men context, as well as just feeling all piratey. It just felt like a pirate book. Like, all right, this motherfucker did it. Let's go, take it to him. And yeah, it was cool. By the end of it, man, he's all in a wheelchair and poisoned, and he's got an eye patch, and he's basically Emma Frost and Kate Pryde's bitch, which I loved.
That's awesome.
As long as he don't die, they don't have to worry about regenerating him or resurrecting
Well,
him.
that's the thing, man. They told him, if you die, we'll make sure that you go way back on the resurrection protocols, list. So it'll be years before you come back. And yeah, it was really hardcore, dude. They really gave it to him, and he deserved it. He's an asshole. So fun book. I'm kind of glad Ten of Swords is over because we can finally get back to business, in the regular books. Ten of Swords was great, but it's really cool to be back to business. Not the last time we're going to mention the X-Men in this show.
No, definitely not.
Adam, number 3. Or honorable mentions and number 3.
I don't really have any honorable mentions this week. Yeah, I mean, I guess the Avengers would be my honorable mention. My number 3 is going to be the last stories of the DC universe. Number 1. I bit the bullet and I got it because it was like the only thing in DC this week I was going to get, and it was actually pretty good. It has a couple good stories in here. It has a Jeff Lemire Green Lantern story in it. It has a really good Green Arrow Black Canary story in it from Gail Simone, which she had a good run on Black Canary back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Titan story that's in the front and the back of it. It was fun. It was a lot better than the Tales from the
pet,
the multiverse that laughs or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Short story.
That's
book.
because the Batman Who Laughs is a shitty character.
It's almost over.
In that book.
It's almost over.
Anything associated with him.
It's almost over. Death Metal's almost over.
Try hard edgelord bullshit.
But this one still had some cool stuff. It had a Black Lantern Roy show up in it.
I didn't read any of the DC.
Nightwing and Batgirl sort of get married in it.
I saw the panel of that. Just some random hero is like,
it was Batman, but it's
like, okay. Then they're officially married. Then if it was Batman,
yeah, it was Batman.
And if Batman says you're married, you're married.
It was cool to say. They were like at the end of it. They were like, if we die, we'll consider ourselves married. But if we live through this, then we'll not be married.
We'll talk about it after.
Yeah, we'll talk about it after. Yeah,
Batman's got his Bat pastor license or something like that.
Yeah, you got it online. Anybody can do that shit. It's like $30 in 6 weeks, and you're
yep. And Wally gets to show back up and gets accepted by the Titans again. You know, they're all
Oh.
one big happy family, and
Only
and
30 years
zombie
too
Roy nods his head at him like, I
Oh.
acknowledge that you killed me, but I'm kind of okay with it.
I mean,
Yeah,
Roy
I'm glad-
does kind of suck, but
Team unity.
I'm glad I didn't read that.
well.
Honorable mentions at number 3, Taylor.
I'll do Avengers for my honorable mention too. It was fun seeing the prehistoric X-Men and all that. You know,
It was.
ancient Jean Grey. I guess her name is Firehair. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine.
Whatever. It
Caveman
was fun.
Caveman times.
For my number 3, I'm going to do Strange Academy number 6.
Good read. Good read.
I always enjoy kind of the Xavier School, but magic kind of angle that this thing has. Anyway, we actually see a battle between the students and later the teachers against these hippie druid guys, the Hollow they call themselves.
What'd they call themselves?
The Hollow.
Yeah, that's right. The Hollow.
So yeah, this ended in a way I wasn't expecting. I guess spoiler alert: they actually killed off one of the kids. Well,
He's got to
seemingly.
come back. He got to come back.
I'm sure he will.
I was shocked. His jaw hit the floor. Shocked.
Since we're in full-on spoiler territory, it was Doyle, like Dormammu Jr. here. So if anyone can like resurrect, it's gonna be him.
And his daddy
But,
gonna be pissed. His
my
daddy
favorite part
gonna
of
be pissed.
yeah,
I paid this tuition, and you kid my kid killed.
but great Dormammu impression, by the way. But I think my
That's
favorite part of
exactly how I imagined Dormammu.
I think my favorite part of this issue, though, was watching the very fucked up punishment that Brother Voodoo and Doctor Strange came up with for the Hollow. They basically, Brother Voodoo like merges them all together and turns them into a fucking tree, and then Doctor Strange slaps like a time seal on them so that they will never ever have the spell expire.
Dude.
So,
I was
yeah.
cool with
That sounds so much better than deducting points from the cup.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
It pushed
this series
Emily.
is-
It pushed Emily's powers a little bit too. You know, her
Yeah.
like she absorbed all these cool powers, and she's the most compelling character to me.
She is our POV character, and we're still
Yeah.
getting into like she has some sort of very potent power, but they're still teasing like what exactly it is.
Yeah.
So
It's interesting.
I'm enjoying this. It has been a kind of a slow burn so far, but I'm interested in seeing them start to actually pick up the pace.
Yeah.
Although one note I will make as someone who works at a school myself, letting these kids play fucking door tag is like the worst possible teacher behavior. I mean, what the fuck?
It's Harry Potter all over again. All the behavior on Harry Potter was the same way. How
Like
do you
Zelma's letting these kids like teleport around the goddamn multiverse to play a game of tag. I mean, come on, Zelma, you're responsible for these kids.
Art Humberto Ramos killing it every
Yeah.
month. I love it. Even on some of the more black and white panels where we're just seeing like the monsters in color, sort of going back to that Aaron Bocciolo run of Doctor Strange. Loved it. So good, so good. Excellent choice. All right, David. Honorable mentions, and then your number 3.
No honorable mentions.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go straight into it.
The only one who didn't pick Avengers is an honorable mention.
You don't read Avengers. You don't read Avengers.
I don't read Avengers. All right, Origins number 2.
Oh man.
Gosh, we get in a little further into the story about this guy who's been resurrected. It's kind of like, have you ever seen that movie AI that's Stanley Kubrick was directing before he died? This is like a reverse AI where the robots bring back a human and they have like the memories saved in a core somewhere, and they're trying to get the memories back to the human because he's basically the key to saving the entire human race after 1,000 years of humanity being gone from the planet, extinction.
Okay.
It's really weird.
Is that the
There's,
movie
like-
or this book?
The book,
Okay.
because it's the reverse. The robots bring
I'm with you. I'm with you.
the robots bring back a human being who created them to help them try to bring back life to the planet after these machines have taken over and basically assimilated life and ended it.
Yeah. That's cool.
It's weird.
Good choice.
Yep.
Oh, that's it.
That's it. That's my number 3 pick. I don't
I
have
didn't
any
read
honorable
that.
mentions.
I didn't read that book. I read the first issue. I did not care for it.
It's kind of it has a lot of elements going on, and the artwork is very dark, very moody. The robot that's explaining all of what's happened in 989 years, is trying to, and this guy is just having this really difficult time accepting that this is the way things are, that, humanity died out a decade after he died.
Huh.
So
Good choice. I'll go on. I have a feeling we're gonna have a lot of layover. Crossover number 2 was my number 2 pick. Donnie Cates, Jeff Shaw, Dean Cuniff, John J. Hill helping out.
also my number 2 pick.
I think Gummer. I think our picks are going to be swapped on this.
Oh, okay.
I think our 2 and our 1 is swapped.
Oh,
This is crossover number 2 is my number 2 pick.
Now, I know your number 1 pick, David, because there's no way you didn't put Homesick Pilots on your list this week. Donnie Cates, Jeff Shaw, D. Cuniff, John J. Hill. Another wonderful issue is Cates takes us on this meta examination of comic books, culture and pop culture, and the impacts that one have had on the other. I really think that's his goal here.
I like all the inside jokes in on this. I like they
This
kill Brian K. Vaughan, and he's like, "Oh man, they call him a Marvel
Yeah,
writer.
Marvel guy?
That's what they do to him."
Yeah.
There was like some very reminiscent panels in here, like this one right here that you got up, where it reminds me of that issue of Spawn where
Hold on.
Cerberus shows up.
Here's the actual one. This is from crossover number 2. This is like page 16.
Yeah.
Here is Spawn number 10.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go back and forth.
It's very reminiscent of that.
It's a very, very nice homage. And yeah, they've captured, heroes from the other universes that showed up in Denver, and they are imprisoning them. They have a magic gun that can take their powers away. They have all kinds of awesome. And this kid, Ryan, Orion, but they call him Ryan, is the key to saving it all. And it looks like Elle wrote him a note from the future or something. There's a lot of craziness going on in this.
Oh,
There
yeah.
is. It's exploring comic book tropes. And I'm down for it.
Yeah.
This was my number 1 pick.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, I love this book. It's definitely a love letter to comic books.
Yeah. With
Jeff
Absolutely.
Shaw's art is fantastic. I
Oh,
love Jeff Shaw.
it's so good. And this is your number 2 pick, David?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, so I guess we know what
Taylor.
Adam's number 2 pick is. So go ahead. There's no way it's not on your list this week. Go ahead, number 2.
Oh, my number 2. My number 2 is Sword number 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Al Ewing, Valerio Sheedy.
Yep. This is my number 1 pick, by the way.
This was a very solid issue. It's basically an introduction to the team, an introduction to the Sword base. They introduced you to Abigail Brand, the 6.
The 6. There they are in the orange. Those are the 6.
Yep, the 6. It's basically Magneto just walking through the ship, and
he's getting
the whole crew.
He's getting the tour. Yeah.
But then at the very end, they do like their first jump where Manifold and the 6 they do some cosmic jump, and they get this item called Mysterium or whatever, and the arc gets really crazy and cosmic, which is fantastic.
That's pretty cool.
If anybody's read Al Ewing's previous work in like the Ultimates or the Ultimates 2, he can get really out there with this cosmic stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested to see where this book goes.
Yeah.
That whole final sequence, where they're going into, I guess that's the White Hot Room, right?
They didn't really get into it, but yes, I would assume that is the White Hot Room, and they're using that as sort of a not a portal, but maybe a sort of a way station to wherever they want to go after that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually called Universal Multiversal Far Retrieval Jumping.
That's a mouthful.
So that whole final sequence was a real trip. It was a real feast for the eyes. It was a whole lot of fun. It's on my list too. But,
I would just want to give my full review here if I could. This is a perfect debut issue in every possible way. They introduced all the characters. They still left that open. They pushed the relationships. Every single inherent story element of the series, intergalactic diplomacy, system security, by system, I mean the soul system, of Earth and all that, as well as this amazing concept of these jumps. But it does all this while being steeped within the new status quo of the current continuity.
They do a great job addressing that too in the issue, where she's all like, yes, we're staffing ourselves with mutants. Yes, we are getting a lot of help from Euchre Cohen's, but the entire point of my job is that I don't care enough about one island to make my decisions about that,
Yeah.
That I have to take like the solar view.
Exactly. Let's go over this a little bit because this was just amazing. All the different like branches of whatever are color coded like in Star Trek, and I fucking love that. Okay?
It's great. Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of people that get introduced in this, so you definitely need this little map to figure out what's going on.
As much as I consider myself a pretty big nerd, I didn't know most of these people. Like, I didn't know WizKid. I didn't know Fabian there, whatever his name is.
Fabian Cortez is from an old where there was Asteroid M. Him and Magneto sort of have this thing.
That was from the Jim Lee run.
Fabian sort of did over Magneto in a way where he wanted him to be a martyr and therefore consolidate power under himself, and then have his own machinations come to bear because he was in charge of Asteroid M. But Magneto survived and got over on him. But all the names were recognizable to me, but I had to look up, just like you, a few of them. But there's also a few other things here. You'll notice security team under the blue where Cable's in charge. They're in charge of security and something else, and that's blocked out. What
there's a lot of strategic omissions throughout the issue.
The psionics analyst. Who's that? They don't have many psychics left who aren't already on a team. My guess is that's Legion, dude.
Maybe
that'd be
awesome.
fun.
That would be
a really cool twist. Yeah.
There's also this part at the bottom where it says assigned to, and it's got this little symbol here.
X.
Yeah, it's right next to the 5, just to the right of the orange 5. But every person who has this mark next to their name, you'll notice the top 3 do, and then under here it's got armor. She's on that. That's weird, dude. I don't know exactly what that means either. You know what I mean?
This issue did a great job of introducing a lot of characters, a lot of moving pieces, like getting us kind of integrated into the status quo in a fairly organic way, right? Having Magneto take the tour. But there's also a lot of really tantalizing material that they are strategically withholding, Like, there's a lot of teases in here, like, who is the head of the Psionics division? What are these people assigned to?
And it had just amazing Magneto moments where he's moving the space station.
Oh yeah, he's putting the space station in orbit.
And
I like when Magneto first shows up and he's like, so okay, if you were to die here, I'd get in a lot of trouble. So try not to die of old age or anything while you're up here. It's like, I shall do my very best.
But
chilled out Magneto's fun. I like Magneto now that he's not like cranky all the time. But
and the art, dude, Valerio Petiti.
It's great.
Yep. Look at that.
Especially all that cosmic shit, man. All that cosmic stuff is just so great.
They got trees on the outside of it?
Yes, because it's Krakoan. They've got Krakoan technology, and it's all biological flora based.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. They also point out, that
tapped into it basically just like Cypher can.
Basically, yeah. WizKid is basically Sword Cypher.
Yeah. And Forge as well has that same thing. He's actually the backup for WizKid, which I don't know. In this context, I think WizKid would do a lot better job. But oh man, the only problem I have with this is the idea of these character combos. Okay, while they are fun, they are great. The ultimate end of that is just terrible, okay, and boring and crap, because you know what I mean? It could be too much.
Of what?
Of combining the powers of different mutants together to come up with these just weird things.
You didn't like that blurb about the fastball special and everything?
Yeah, this is a lot more than
I thought that was kind of
encyclopedia
like
section about the fastball special.
Yeah, okay, so
throwing a guy in a robot.
Yeah, Colossus throws Wolverine really hard. It's kind of a stretch to call that like the genesis of mutant technology.
They're literally stealing artifacts from across the multiverse in this. That's not going to end well.
No, it's not.
Oh yeah, that reminds me of
quote at the end.
Yeah, I love the end quote there. It's like, I've done that myself. I can't really complain, but I wore gloves when I touched the sun.
Yeah, Doctor Doom from Doctor Doom. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, great issue, man.
Yeah.
This quickly jumped up my list of best X books right now. I'm reading them all, and yeah, this is top 3 X books right now, just off this first issue. Just a lot of potential, a lot of promise. So we're actually
Very
still on number 2.
Oh, I guess it's me, right?
Yes.
Well, Sword was my number 1, so I guess that's out of the way.
Yeah.
My number 2 is actually Batman Black and White.
Oh,
It's
Oh,
basically
okay,
just a
yeah.
collection of a bunch of short stories, but we got a real murderer's row of artists here. We got J.H. Williams III, we got Andy Kubert, we got Trad Moore, we got Greg Smallwood, we got Emma Rios, and pretty good collection of writers too. We got Paul Dini, we got G. Willow Wilson, we got James Hyrian, who's doing most of the writing anyway. It was a good collection of stories. I especially like the J.H. Williams one, because it's J.H. Williams and his art is amazing. Yeah, and it's also a really kind of interesting touch on what someone like Batman would be doing in the face of something like what we're facing in the real world right now. There was a really cool artistic conceit he made where you see the pearls, from his mother's necklace shattering, but they turn into the virus at the end of his short story. So it's a really cool transition.
Wow.
And it's him talking about how this is something that other people have to step up and be heroes for, but I have to still support them as best I can. I have to anticipate how my villains are going to try to turn this to their advantage, and I have to be there to stop them, to save the world that the doctors and the nurses are saving right now.
Oh, wow. That sounds dope. I skipped
that
all the
sounds pretty
DC
good.
this week. I may have to go and pick that up digitally.
It was a lot of fun. It was $6, but I think it was worth it. A lot of great. If nothing else, it's a great art showcase for a lot of really talented writers taking a crack at Batman.
Fun. Good choice. Man, I'm glad you read that. I'm definitely going to have to go check out some of that. David, number 2.
My number 2 we already covered in crossover. It's just I really enjoyed this whole exposition of comic book people being in a real world. There was a lot of throwbacks to the Cerberus Spawn crossover that happened in the early 90s or the mid 90s.
Yeah.
This book just kind of brought back a lot of fond memories of that time period, and we do there are some more current issue deals where normal people from comic books, the average citizens, were being rounded up and put into camps without powers and being experimented on by the government. And Ellie reveals that because the government's afraid that some of these people might actually manifest powers, and
that happens.
That kind of happens.
X-Men mutants just pop. Here I am. I got powers.
Yep. But usually,
it seems like the government in the book though is doing a little bit more than
rounding them up. Ellie did mention that there was experimentations where people would disappear, come back, and they wouldn't be the same, or they wouldn't come back at all. Yeah. But there's also mentions of that certain comic book characters are resisting, some comic book characters are being taken out, and that some comic book characters are cooperating. They want to return back to their world just as much as the real world wants them to go.
Get rid of them, yeah. So yeah, it's definitely growing the story. It's still great. Yeah, good choice.
I love the use of the print. I think it's called Ben-Day. The
dot matrix sort of thing.
Yeah, I love that. I love that effect on the comic book characters.
Nice. And big reveal for her too. She's got some sort of weird power. Yeah.
She's probably like some she's the kid from the fourth Dark Knight series, the Golden Child.
Right. My number 1, again, Sword. Number 1, just a great issue. Look at that art. Oh my gosh, just gorgeous. This whole team is just compelling as hell. The 6 is dope. Color-coded uniforms are probably my favorite part. Are you kidding me? Anyway, Adam, number 1.
My number 1 was crossover for all the reasons we talked about earlier.
Oh, great series, just great book. So awesome. Taylor's favorite book this week, I think he already mentioned, was Sword as well.
Yeah.
Just a great book. And now that leaves David. And Homesick Pilots number 1.
Homesick Pilots. No, it's actually Bite Size number 1.
Really?
No!
Because I read Bite Size and it was trash.
Bite Size is trash. I was
Yeah.
I was just joking. It is Homesick Pilots.
Man, I know
just
you
wanted
so
to throw you
well.
for a
I
loop.
know you so well.
Oh man, Dan Waters is writer with Casper Wingard as the artist. 1994 setting is set in 1994. Background story: punk rock bands fighting it out, have beef, turf wars, and all that. The member of one band wants to play a show in a haunted house, and basically she goes to the haunted house and disappears. We get some story on the haunted house, like it's the home. It's where a friend of theirs went into it, and he was there for what he said was months. When he come out, he was emaciated and died of organ failure. So the home kept him there for a very long time.
Like The Shining.
Like The Shining, or that movie from the 80s, House.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I like House Part
House
2.
2, I think, is
story.
better.
House
The second story.
Yeah.
House Part 2, and then it's kind of like I'm not sure what else is going on. I don't know if necessarily it's a ghost story yet.
You know what it is?
But
It's Warehouse 13, bro.
it kind of is.
You ever seen Warehouse 13?
Yeah, it kind of is. Basically, our
Or Friday the 13th, the series.
our heroine is basically been absorbed by the house and is now like the consciousness of the house.
Yeah.
And she's going around collecting items that have been taken from the house because they're haunted. And
Which is the premise of Friday the 13th, the series.
yeah.
And Warehouse 13, but with a sci-fi twist.
Well, yeah, there's like, cursed items and stuff, but
Yeah.
like she shows up and she's got different clothes. So I don't know if she's able.
Magical. She's glowing. She didn't
She's
have
glowing.
different clothes. She's got glowing clothes now. She had the same T-shirt on.
No,
Gollum and the Claymores.
Gollum
Yeah,
and the
she had the
Claymores.
same T-shirt on.
But
Okay,
she
Let me
shows
tell
up.
you. I'll give you a reason why I wanted to put Homesick Pilots number 1 on my list.
That
And
panel
because
right
of
there.
This panel right here.
We have the
This is the house, and these
yeah,
are
the house.
yeah,
we have
these are
her
couple
bandmates and the rival bandmates have both
Yeah.
broken into the house. Her bandmates are on the top, and the rival bandmates are coming through the kitchen, and they meet in the middle panel.
It's very well done.
It's
dude.
done. It's terrific.
Yeah, it's very creative, and the whole book is kind of like that with the art. It never cuts any corners with the art.
Yeah.
The problem I had with it, this book could not decide what it wanted to be. Is it an angsty kids book, teenager book? Is it a punk rock book? Is it a haunted house book? No, it's fucking Warehouse 13, dude.
It's an angsty Warehouse 13.
It's not, though. By the end of it, it's like, okay, she's going to get the horseshoe from this mysterious person because the horseshoe called to her because the horseshoe actually belongs to this house. I didn't know where to go. You know what I mean? It took me in this direction, and at the end it said nope, and then it turned around and went a different way. And I was like, no, you can't do that.
But I'm not 100% sure it's a ghost story because the
house is
preview
definitely haunted, though.
the house is definitely haunted, or it's Monster House 1. I don't know.
Yeah, it's Monster House or something. So you're right. It may not be like your traditional where she's a ghost.
But
She's something, no.
The house is a kaiju, and she pilots the kaiju for
Oh
all
my
I know.
gosh, the house is not a fucking kaiju. She is not.
But the artwork for the
This
issue
is not
2 kind of
Pacific
suggests
Rim.
some kind of sci-fi.
Why not?
Deal.
Yeah, it does. I don't know if there's a sci-fi thing here.
I don't know yet.
know.
It's too early to tell. But that's a helmet
Yeah.
that ghost lady is wearing, and I don't know why you would need to wear a sci-fi looking helmet.
Where did her
To be a
friend
ghost.
go?
Where
Did this other band go? Where did Hell's Bastards or the Bastards or whatever they were called go?
the nuclear bastards?
The Nuclear Bastards.
Okay,
Where
two
did
of
they
them.
go?
One of them got killed in the house.
I know. I saw that. The house murdered him with the pipe,
The house ripped him apart.
or she murdered him with the house.
And then the girl that was part of the nuclear bastards got out of the house with her two bandmates, Emma's two bandmates.
Which issue are we going to go and get the toilet?
I
They
don't
went out
know.
of their way to mention that the toilet was missing.
I saw that.
This girl
Who takes
appears
the
to be,
toilet?
this girl appears to be retrieving items that were stolen from the house. Eventually, she's going to have to get that toilet back.
Maybe
haunted
somebody
shit.
at
haunted
Habitat Humanity House picked it up.
Haunted shit. Man, I don't know what to think of this series. That's why I didn't put it on my top 3. I mentioned it. It was an honorable mention. But I didn't know what to think about this book, man. Look at that art, though. Look at that.
That art is
That's
pretty
innovative
good. There's a lot of
shit.
good pacing in there, especially the scenes that follow after this where the Nuclear Bastards, the lead singer of the Nuclear Bastards is basically like, I'm robbing you. And like they're talking about like how decrepit the house is, and he just like stabs the guy. Like, pay attention, motherfucker.
He's like, pay attention to me. I'm robbing you. Yeah, I don't know. That was fun. Still, look at that Valerio Sheedy art. You kidding me? All right, good choices, everyone. I knew we were going to have a lot of carryover, a lot of, multiple choices that we all picked because it was such a shitty week.
It was the Revenge of the Second Issues week.
Ugh. Well, thanks for hanging out, everybody. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Patreon.com/OutRightGeekery.
Just a tip.
Just a tip. We got a lot of other shows. We got our tomorrow night show where we just do previews. And then Tuesday, we're doing Geekterion Collection with the Gremlins. We're deciding on the next top 5 to do. I'm going to have to get with the bullies, see if they have any ideas. I don't know. We'll figure that out. That's not till January anyway. So
yeah.
Plenty of time to think that over. What else? The Comic Book Bullies, they're here on this channel, so check them out. Their show will be live by the morning. We also got 5-minute reviews, Creators Outlet. Oh my gosh, Big Willie doing all kinds of stuff. He's also got OK Boomer over there with Thomas. So yeah, a lot of fun, a lot of great shit happening. If you're listening to us on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter, go over to those other 2 channels and like and follow us over there. Just search Outright Geekery and stay tuned for everything that we've got going on. So that'll be fun. What else? Most of all, thanks to these jokers for hanging out with me. I appreciate it.
Anytime, man.
We're going to do it again next time. Where's David?
I don't know where David's at. He's missing his cue.
When we needed him most.
He got his
Same Geek time, same Geek channel.
Oh, what the hell was that?
Even I put more effort
with
into
this
it than that.
half-assed effort after making us wait.
Yeah. It's like
It wasn't that long.
It was a little while.
It was an eternity.
It was an eternity.